Good morning, students. Today we are moving towards the development of or the feeling of nationalism being developed in the minds of people of Europe. You see, in this chapter we are going to see the unification of Germany and Italy. So before entering into that area, we just see what has happened there is Germany and Italy and Switzerland were divided into kingdoms. Kingdoms means an area ruled by a king, a duchies and cantons, whose rulers had their autonomous territories in them. See, duchies, like a landlord, we can say, or a small little bigger area. We can say modern day state. But the person who rules in that area, he is independent and free. He is not ready to completely accept the king, and king cannot control him. This kind of persons are called duchies, duchess. You see, duchy is a medieval concept of a country, territory or fief, means area of control. That's fiefdom or fief we call it, area of control. Or a domain ruled by a duke or duchess. Duke is a male, duchess is called a female. So duke or duchess, a high ranking nobleman. Now recently, Philip, Duke of died. She was husband of Queen Elizabeth. So let's say high ranking nobleman will be appointed as a duke, means one who belonged to the royal family, one who is linked to the royal family, royal hierarchy, second to the king or queen. Such persons are called a duke. They will have control in that areas. Not the modern period. Modern period we have a democratic system. In the medieval period or an ancient period, those areas were ruled by individual dukes or duchesses or kings. So there may be an emperor who is having more control. A person who rules bigger area, larger area is called emperor. Still smaller area is called a king. Still smaller area is called a duchess. Now in the modern period we have got country, state and district. District is again divided into taluks, taluks again panchayat, panchayat again wards. So that kind of divisions. So such a persons are there. A canton is also a division like that. An area, we can say modern period a district, or we can say state, maximum. Such kind of area is called canton. The subdivision of territory. The purpose of administration in some countries is a division, subdivision, it's a division. Now India is divided into different states. So those states again divided. It is for the easy administration. That's what I said. So like that, the kingdoms at that time were divided. Smaller division was called canton. So like that, areas were divided and ruled by the kings of medieval period. So when they are divided and ruled, developing a feeling maintaining a oneness among the area is very difficult because each one felt they are independent. They are not united. They don't share any common purpose or common history. So how it was possible to develop a national feeling among the members? They may be having different languages. They may be having different religious ideology. They may be ruled by different kings or duchies or cantons. So developing a national feeling among those group of people was very difficult. That is what we must understand. Still people began to think about it. The territories which lived diverse peoples did not see themselves as sharing a collective identity or a common culture. You see, when you take the concept of Belgaum, there are people who are from Maharashtra who are speaking Marathi. There are people who have the identity of Karnataka who are speaking Kannada. So there is a feeling among some people. They don't 100% mentally feel affinity towards any state. In Belgaum, those who are speaking Kannada language, naturally they have affinity towards Karnataka. Those who are speaking Marathi, and traditionally they are Marathis, they will feel this uncomfort or discomfort with the situations of Maharashtra. So they want to be with Maharashtra. So that is why some people simply raise the matter. Some people, it is natural. 100% it is difficult for the people to create an affinity. So there will be little bit discomfort and little bit problems being created by the members of different groups. So in Europe was the same situation also. They spoke different languages. So in an area where the people live, they speak different languages. So that also doesn't bring the reason, or that doesn't bring the people to come together. Over the language they may have some religious sentiment relationship, or they are ruled by one king. That may be there. But the language doesn't bring together. You know, when you move to Delhi, when you are moving through Delhi streets, if you hear a sound of a Kannada word or somebody speaks Kannada, you will be eager to hear it. The same way, a North Indian, when he comes to South India, everywhere he hears Malayalam or Kannada or Tamil, if somebody speaks Hindi, he will be eager to put his ears and listen to it. The language has got that feeling, the affinity. So that's what. They spoke different language and belonged to different ethnic groups. Means the people of that area. We can say races. So that different groups of people. So different identities they have. Different cultural behavior they have. Even the same language, when different people speak in different accent, they speak, the meaning of the different word may change. So that is situations. This was situation in Europe. From that only, they are trying to develop a unified state or a nation ideology. The Habsburg Empire ruled over Austria-Hungary, and the rulers were autocrats. The dynasty name which was ruling Austria-Hungarian Empire, they were autocrats. They were autocrats. Every time they followed the autocratic ideology, means only they have got the right to rule or divine right to theory. They were not ready to listen to the problems of the people. And that area had diverse language, ethnicity, cultural differences, religious differences. So, socio-economic backgrounds. So, it was very difficult that Austria-Hungarian Empire to be kept together as unified. That was a huge risk and difficult process. Because the people who are feeling unhappy about the activities of the king, naturally they protest. They express their unhappiness. They are not ready to be united with the king. So all those situations were there in Europe. That is why the people told me, at least if the king is removed, they have an elected person, because they have elected. So then they can have an overall feeling towards that group of persons who are elected, a democratic system. Even if I belong, I am having other language, even if I am having another religion, I might have voted for that person to rule me. So I will have an affinity or an affiliation or relationship with those group of people. That is what it means. You hear? The aristocracy predominantly spoke German in Alps area, Alpine area. Alps mountains are there in Europe. So in those areas, they spoke German. German was a dominant language in that area. Aristocracy means educated group of people. As in India, at that time, the aristocrats were speaking Sanskrit. Now the aristocrats are to be speaking English. So such a group of people who are with a developed mindset. Like Tyrol, Austria, the Sudetenland, Bohemia, Lombardy, Venetia. Now all these areas, they were speaking German language. So Germany had an influence, but they were ruled by different kings, or they were ruled by different duchesses or dukes. So naturally their affinity was not towards the one king named a German king, and there was no German king. There was a kingdom named Prussia. That is all. In Hungary, half of the population spoke Magyar. The other half spoke variety of other dialects. So there was no common language. They spoke. If we come to India, we can say around half of the population speak Hindi or near to Hindi. Other population have got their other languages. Like Kannada, Marathi, Malayalam, Kannada, Telugu, like the different languages are. So India is not having a common language, like there is half of the population that is related to German. Magyar, these situations. You see, in Galicia, the aristocracy spoke Polish. Polish is a language of Poland. So they were not speaking German. It was a country or area near to Germany or Prussia, but they were speaking Polish language. So that's the difference. Besides these Bohemians, the Slovaks to the north, Slovenes and Carniola, Croatians, Romanians and Transylvania. All this group of people lived in those areas. We call it Balkan. Having different languages, different cultures, different lifestyles of life. They were. So how to develop a national feeling among them? That was important discussion, effort, or plan by the newly developed democratic countries. You can see a map. See, this is German Confederation here. It is developed. It was the area that was created by Napoleon. You see. You can see here Switzerland. Here you can see this is Germany present. But it was called Prussia. You see here British. British was not having control of. Now British is not having control in this area. At that time Britain was having control. See, France was the French. Here you can see Switzerland, Austria, Hungary and all these things. So they are having control of this area. Here you can see Sardinia, Switzerland, Bolivia. This is a complete known as Austrian Empire. This is the Prussia. This Prussia has become Germany, including this. This has become Germany. That is what we see. Bolivia. So that is Poland. That side is Russia. This is a European map. Denmark. This is Britain, United Kingdom, Spain, Portugal. From here only Vasco da Gama has come to India beyond around the tip of south. This is called Italy. This is called Greece. So Mediterranean Sea is flowing through this below. This is a papal state. There is a study about when we see unification of Germany and Italy. See, that is this. See, one more now during the First World War. See the map difference. You see, these are Bavaria, France. You see, Spain is here. This Sardinia, Tuscany, Lombardy, Switzerland, Bavaria. See here, there is no Germany at that time. So all these areas were together. It was called Prussia. You can see Austrian Empire, Austrian-Hungarian Empire. Here you can see. Here Berlin is here. This is Germany. Now, present Germany is here. So this was area ruled by Ottomans. This Ottomans supported Germany during the First World War. Austria, Germany, Ottoman, they together they fought against England. This is France, England. Then Italy also. They all fought together against Germany in the First World War. That is the situation. This is a European map during the First World War. You see, within these areas, having varieties, even today something part of one empire, tomorrow it may not be. Some other king may attack and take away that part. Some other king may give to some others for marriage or some donations or gift, anything, some areas. Because kings used to think it is their private property, like you take that area, I am giving gift to you. As in the stories or Mahabharata, say half of my empire will be given. They put the bet. So like that it was. So there was no consultation or taking care of the people who are living in that area. It is decision of the king. So people had nothing to it. Now they have left that ideology and told we have the share in it because we feel it's ours. It's we feeling. It is not the feeling of the king, it is the feeling of the people along with the king, along with the worldly people of people. That is what the reason. Okay, so that is again the reasons or situations that developed the national feeling in Europe. Thank you very much.